Well, the reality is that we are, despite COVID and everything else going on in the world that is so chaotic, we're rapidly approaching something that is the antithesis of chaos, which is the High Holy Days, these holy moments and hours and days, 10 days in our lives when we get to stop, turn inward, turn toward one another, and look up to the heavens and say, what are these important relationships and what do they mean to us? Well, I know right now that might seem a little too esoteric, too abstract for some of you. You just want answers, which is, what are the services going to be like? And maybe the first question you're asking yourself is, should I rejoin or join a synagogue this year? Certainly join Valley Outreach Synagogue. Well, I want to address that question briefly first, which is to say that joining a synagogue is different from probably anything else that you do with your money, your resources, and with your time in your life. It's about an exchange. It's about not only supporting an organization that supports the continuity of Judaism, not just your Judaism in the world. It's about supporting an organization that supports other people in the challenges of their lives. And believe me, this is a moment in which the challenges are possibly greater than ever to most people, not only financially, but spiritually as well. It's also a chance to grow. And sometimes we think about going to the gym because we want to grow certain parts of us. And we say, well, I'm willing to make an ongoing long-term investment to something like that. But we don't necessarily think about what we might gain from synagogue membership. And what I want to say to you is, this next year, squeeze out of this membership, get out of us everything that you can, because we are in service to you, which means that we are an almost inexhaustible source of wisdom, of inspiration, of strength, of comfort, of stillness, of community, of all those things, of family that you need, of all the things that are necessary and might be absent from your life. So that's the first thing. And I want to suggest that you join a synagogue. Hopefully you feel like ours is the one that's the right fit for you, but fit matters most. So find a synagogue that supports you and takes care of your needs and where you can grow the most. Now, you might want to ask yourselves about the High Holy Days. What will the experience be like? Should I even be a participant in something that won't be the same as it was? Well, won't be the same. That means that it'll be a greater opportunity for growth than ever. Because if we sit on the same seat with our legs crossed in the same direction, we probably don't get the same insights as if we're pushed a little off center and out of comfort. So ask yourself how that's been in your life so far. Might be uncomfortable, but maybe that's where you'll grow the most. What I want to tell you about the High Holy Days is this. Instead of what we usually do, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, you get dressed, you come up to the shepherd sanctuary, you join us, and then you come to the beach for Tashlich, perhaps, and then 10 days later you join us for Yom Kippur. Instead, what we're doing is we're filling out those 10 days in between. We're truly giving you 10 days of awe inspiration. So let me read to you some of the things that we're going to be doing for our members. And when I say for our members, I really mean that, meaning there's certain things that only members will have access to, because we want to honor the support that you give us. We want to honor your membership. And then, of course, there's our outreach, what we do for the community at large. So there will be slichot. There will be Rosh Hashanah in the evening and day. And I'll tell you in advance, these are going to be absolutely beautiful services. Beautiful, moving, touching, short. Not what you're used to, hopefully just right. Rosh Hashanah day, Rosh Hashanah morning and evening. Our wish is that our synagogue members will join us for Tashlich, those who are safe, healthy, willing, and able. And we'll give you details on that, presuming that we are able to do that day. And then we're going to have programs every day, kids programming every day, little apple bites for the kids. Think about Rosh Hashanah and the sweetness of engaging with their Jules teachers. Any kids, by the way, from anywhere in the country, your nieces, nephews, grandkids, they can all join us. Our chaplain and I are going to engage in a conversation about crisis, life, leadership, what it is to be us leading you and our families and ourselves through the challenges of this very day in life. Moral injury. I'll have a conversation with a psychiatrist who whose focus is the care of people who are coming out of war, our veterans. And we're going to talk about what moral injury is, how it relates to the Jewish concept of tshuva, which is the theme of the High Holy Days, making amends, repair, repentance, how to address those parts of us that we think are unforgivable. I'll have a conversation with a colleague from Rome who teaches at the Vatican, a wonderful, wonderful friend and colleague, Rabbi Jack Bemperad, and he and I will talk about what interreligious dialogue and understanding can mean in the year 2020, what it can bring to bear on society. I'll have a conversation another morning with the director of the Middle East Policy Center at the Brookings Institute the title is On Israel's Grand Strategy. I think that'll be interesting to all of us. I'll meet with the head of the AJC in Los Angeles, the American Jewish Committee, to talk about anti-Semitism, something so many of us are concerned about, to get some real ideas of what's really happening in our society and the world and what we might understand from it. And then we'll talk about what it is to be Jewish diplomats, what Jewish diplomacy means on the world stage, which is what this organization, AJC, does. I think you'll find it really interesting. Add to that, we'll have, of course, our 12-step gratitude meeting. We'll have support for teenagers who are going through turmoil right now, college students who may have just landed on their campus or are still in their bedroom, but saying, well, what can my synagogue and rabbi and therapist, what can people in our organization of expertise bring to bear on my experience right now? We'll have discussions for adults. We'll have Torah study. We'll have better understanding of that strange short story of Jonah that might really, really give you some insights into your own story right now. Our chaplain will lead a conversation on the story of Hannah, which is so beautiful and touching and asks us what it is in times of despair and crisis even, to have faith and to find relationship that's meaningful. We will, of course, have Yom Kippur services, which will include Yizkor at the end of the day for all of us, and God willing, in-person Havdalah at the end of the day as well. So I'm giving you an idea of what the menu looks like, and what I'm saying to you is please step through the door. As I said earlier, many of you have already rejoined the synagogue. Some of you have done something which is beautiful, which is to say, thank God, I'm not struggling, so I want to help a family that is. So you're joining for yourselves and for somebody else as well. I hope that more of you will do that as well. What I want to say to anybody who is struggling, and I hear from some of you, I want you to know that our doors are wider than they ever were for you. They're open without any shame, without you needing to feel embarrassed to say, I'm in a time of difficulty right now, but I want myself, my synagogue, my family to come through the doors of our synagogue. Please know we will embrace you. We will absolutely embrace you and bring you into the community. We would much, much rather have you with us at this time than hear that you are out essentially in the wilderness on your own at a time of challenge. So please know this is when we can be your greatest strengthener and support. So join the synagogue. Can you get tickets for services? You can. I would, of course, ask you to join so that you're with us and we're in your corner for the year, not just for a couple of evenings or hours in the next few weeks, but you'll be able to join with tickets. What I will to say to everybody is, as a member of the synagogue, you will have access codes that will be unique to you and your household, that can't be shared, that will allow you to come into our services and some of these events that are exclusively designed for you. So please take that seriously. Please join us. We have improved our technology. We hope that you will improve yours in these weeks before the Holy Days. Check with Spectrum, AT&T, whoever it is that gives you internet, and just ask, is my speed good enough for streaming? Because anything you stream will require decent internet speeds. We will give you tech support, everything you need to make this experience easy and moving and beautiful. So I've said a lot. I hope it's helpful. I hope that you know how committed I and our team is to you. I hope that you know that our chaplain, our cantor, our music director, our president, our education team, all of us are widening the doors to Jewish life for you. We want you to come through these doors. One day, I'm in the synagogue, as you can see right now in my office. One day, very soon, God willing, we want to open those literal doors wide and fill the place with music and with joy and, God willing, with embraces and with prayer and with inspiration that we're used to. But we need you to help us move to this moment together. L'Shana Tova. May this final month of the year, Elul, be inspiring and beautiful for you, and may bring you to a new year of unprecedented and I'll say surprising blessings.